There are places on Earth where crushing pressure snaps steel, sunlight vanishes after 200 meters, and temperatures plummet close to freezing. Yet life not only endures, it becomes impossibly strange. 90% of the ocean remains unexplored, home to creatures so bizarre they defy logic. Transparent skulls, rotating eyes, bodies that glow in living darkness. How do organisms survive where nothing should live? To find out, we need to rewrite the rules of survival, beginning with the deepest basics. Pressure climbs relentlessly. Every 10 meters deeper adds another atmosphere. By 1,000 meters, the weight above would flatten a car. At 4,000 meters, it becomes 400 times the force at sea level. No air pocket survives. Darkness is total after just 200 meters. Beyond this line, sunlight never returns. Photosynthesis stops. Vision becomes almost useless. Temperature drops in lockstep with depth, falling from the warmth of the surface to just above freezing, a constant 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, sometimes less. The cold seeps into every cell, slowing metabolism to a crawl. Food is rare, only a thin rain of debris, dead plankton, drifting detritus, fragments of life from above, reaches these depths. The abyss receives just 1 to 5% of the ocean's surface productivity. Most of the time, there is nothing to eat but what falls or what can be stolen. Each of these conditions alone would be fatal to most life. Together, they create a gauntlet, pressure that crushes, darkness absolute, cold that never relents, and starvation as the rule. Yet in this world of impossible physics, evolution finds loopholes. The next creature is built to see what no other animal can. A small silhouette drifts in the twilight, halfway between surface and abyss. The barreleye fish, Macropinna microstoma, floats motionless at 600 to 800 meters, where sunlight has vanished, but the rain of debris still falls. Its skull is a transparent dome, as clear as glass, revealing every nerve and vessel inside. Through this living window, 2 brilliant green cylinders point straight upward, locked on the faintest glimmer above. These are not ordinary eyes. Each one is a tube packed with dense photoreceptors, designed to capture the last scraps of light filtering down from the world above. The barreleye's eyes are not fixed. They swivel within the skull, rotating from an upward gaze to peer forward when needed. This allows the fish to track drifting prey, small jellies and crustaceans, without moving its body or giving away its position. The transparent shield protects these delicate organs from the stinging tentacles of siphonophores, letting the fish reach into the tentacle forests for food. When Bruce Robertson and the MBARI team first captured footage of this fish in 2004, the rotating eyes and glassy head defied every expectation. Here, vision is not just a sense, it is a survival tool, engineered for a world where seeing means the difference between starvation and life. In the deep, evolution has made the impossible visible. A shadow glides just above the abyss, almost erasing itself from the water. The black dragonfish is a living paradox, nearly invisible, yet armed with a weapon no other predator wields. Its skin is so dark it absorbs 99.5% of all light, a cloak that defeats even the sharpest eyes and the brightest flashes of blue bioluminescence. But the dragonfish does not hide to avoid being hunted. It hunts by hiding in plain sight. At depths from 200 to 2,000 meters, it carries a secret. Along its jaw and belly, specialized organs emit a deep red glow centered near 700 nanometers. Almost nothing else in the deep can see this wavelength. To most prey, the dragonfish is pure darkness, but to itself and to its own kind, the world is streaked with signals and searchlights. It turns on this private beam to scan for crustaceans and fish, illuminating them without warning, an assassin's lantern invisible to victims. The dragonfish's mouth can unhinge to swallow prey nearly its own size, lined with transparent, needle-sharp teeth. Females grow long and menacing, while males remain tiny, often never feeding after metamorphosis. Scripts. Institution researchers have traced this extreme sexual dimorphism to a brutal economy. In a world of starvation, only one sex needs to hunt. In the deep, the dragonfish is both shadow and executioner, predator, signal, and ghost. A thread of living glass winds through the water, so long it seems to have no end. In 2019, the Schmidt Ocean Institute's Sebastian R.O. captured a siphonophore colony drifting in the deep off Western Australia. Its length was estimated at more than 45 meters, rivaling the size of a blue whale. But this is not one animal. The siphonophore is a colony, a superorganism made of hundreds, sometimes thousands, of specialized units called zooids. Each zooid performs a single task. Some capture prey, some digest, some steer, some reproduce. Together, they form a seamless body, coordinated by a network of nerves, but lacking a central brain. There is no command center, no leader, just a distributed intelligence, each part sensing and responding to signals from its neighbors. Transparent tentacles trail behind, nearly invisible except for the occasional pulse of blue light. These bioluminescent lures attract small fish and crustaceans, drawing them into a mesh of stinging cells. When food is scarce, the siphonophore's reach becomes its greatest weapon, spreading a net across the dark, silent void, harvesting whatever drifts by. In this world, individuality dissolves. The colony survives by dividing labor and sharing every catch. Here, size is not measured by muscle or bone, but by the collective effort of many lives woven together into a single ghostly thread. A whale's body, weighing more than a city bus, sinks through the water column and lands on the abyssal plain. What follows is not silence, but a sudden bloom of life. Within days, scavengers strip away flesh, but the real transformation begins when only bones remain. Osedax, zombie worms, arrive. They have no mouth, no gut, no eyes. Instead, they grow root-like tendrils that burrow into bone, releasing acids that dissolve the mineral. Symbiotic bacteria living inside these roots convert the released nutrients into energy, fueling the worm in the absence of sunlight or surface food. The Ocean Exploration Trust first captured this eerie process. Forests of pink and white worms swaying from the skeleton, a city built from death. Osedax can colonize a whale fall within months, turning what should be a grave into a thriving ecosystem that can last for decades. Yet some deep-sea communities are not bound to the rare luck of a falling giant. At hydrothermal vents, life is continuous, powered by chemistry alone. Riftia pachyptila, the giant tube worm, anchors itself around vent chimneys where water erupts at over 400 degrees Celsius. Riftia has no mouth or digestive tract. Instead, its bright red plume draws in hydrogen sulfide and oxygen, feeding chemosynthetic bacteria packed inside a specialized organ called the trophosome. These bacteria oxidize sulfide, generating sugars that sustain the worm. The Woods Hole. Oceanographic Institution's Alvin dives revealed these towers of life, white tubes packed shoulder to shoulder, crimson plumes waving in the chemical haze. Here, energy flows not from the sun, but from the heart of the earth. In the deep, death can spark a temporary oasis, but chemistry builds cities that never sleep. At the edge of the abyss, the ocean reveals a boundary that looks almost impossible. A shimmering underwater shoreline where ordinary seawater meets a hidden lake of brine. These brine pools form in deep basins, their salt content reaching 5 to 10 times that of the surrounding ocean. The boundary is so sharp and dense that submersibles have captured footage of remotely operated vehicles floating above it, unable to penetrate without force. Here, the water below is not only saltier, but also heavier and nearly devoid of oxygen. For most animals, crossing this line would mean instant death. Yet on the rim of these toxic lakes, life gathers in strange forms. Giant mussels cluster in dense beds, some growing longer than a human forearm. Their survival depends on a partnership inside their gills. Chemosynthetic bacteria convert methane and hydrogen sulfide into energy. This chemical food web powers entire communities, from squat lobsters to ghostly shrimp that graze on thick mats of microbes. These microbial mats form living carpets, oxidizing methane that seeps from the seafloor, turning poison into fuel. The University of Georgia's SEEP research teams have documented these mats thriving where oxygen vanishes and energy must be wrung from the barest chemical traces. In such extreme environments, even the architecture of life changes. Many brine pool creatures are nearly transparent, their bodies stripped of pigment and muscle to save energy. Gelatinous drifters, jellies, combs, and siphonophore fragments hover just above the brine, feeding on what little escapes the chemical trap below. Every adaptation is a calculation: how little energy can be spent, how much can be gained from a world of scarcity and salt. In these salt lakes, life is not only possible, it finds a way to continue, even as the rules of chemistry and biology appear to break. As technology finally pierces the deep, each new discovery rewrites what life can endure. These alien worlds exist right now, beneath our feet, reminding us how little we know about our own planet. The true unknown isn't out there. It's still waiting in the darkness below. Share your wonder below.